I imagine that in the past few weeks we've all been getting ready for Christmas. And probably much of that means that we've been cleaning or shopping or decorating or cooking. We spend a lot of time getting ready for Christmas physically. But we do what we do to be ready. But Advent gives us the messages of hope and joy and peace for our spirit's readiness. Paul tells us also that the greatest of these is love. Love created the worlds and made the galaxies. I read once in a book that in a series that I like that love killed the dinosaurs. It sounds funny, but I think it meant that all the warm-blooded animals that could bond and care for their young soon outnumbered those cold-blooded reptiles, and so they ended up having no chance. Add in all the weather effects and things like that. But love breaks down barriers. It inspires acts of courage. Love topples empires. And that's what King Ahaz found out when he heard the words from the prophet Isaiah. You see, he was worried because he was facing a war with intrigue and pressure on either side from two kingdoms who threatened his people, Israel's existence. And in the midst of it all, God speaks, offering a sign. And Prophet Isaiah offered to give the king a sign, and he didn't want to hear anything of it because he wasn't quite sure he trusted God that much. So even though Ahaz turned down the offer of a sign, Isaiah gave him one anyway. Look, a young woman is with a child, and she will bear a son. She will name him Emmanuel. And Emmanuel means God with us. It's as if Isaiah realizes that Ahaz is afraid enough that he needs something concrete, some earthly assurance. He needs someone with skin on them to bring him a message. So in order to feel confident in God's presence and protection, Ahaz needs a savior. To make a long story short, Israel survived. So yes, we have assurance through all of these signs that God's love is at work for the long haul. But more in a global sense, we see over time how God has been at work through the eons. But the thing is, we live in the now, and we ask about now. This time of year, we especially feel the losses that we've all faced. We're all missing someone who is dear to us. And if we're hurting financially, the commercials on TV underscore the fact that we're not the ones running out to take advantage of those sales. Or if we or someone our love is injured or sick, we just aren't feeling that joy right now. And so we ask, where is God in all of this? Why is there so much evil in the world? Why doesn't God ease our suffering? We wait and we watch with hope for signs of wonder. And Matthew gives us a measly morsel of a message. Just tells us there's a woman and a man, and they will have a son, basically. It's that short. But the thing is, Matthew picked up on the passage in Isaiah and saw it as significant. He saw Emmanuel, God with us. That God is indeed coming into the world in real flesh and blood. God sends us someone with skin on. A real concrete example that God is with us. It's the same way that God was with Abraham and Jacob and David and all the prophets, and especially to a young girl named Mary and a quietly righteous Joseph, who would become her husband and accept this child. God comes always in the world words that we should take to heart. Do not fear, for I am with you. Mary and Joseph did a lot for love. What would you do for love? God gave us his Son so that we might know love, to know life, and live life to the fullest. And so I believe that God loves us into wholeness and fullness. And living that full life looks like this. We may want all our problems wiped away, but instead God wipes away our tears. We may want our bodies to be healed, but God steps in and heals our souls and loves us to wholeness. We may want out of a situation. Instead, God gives us companions and bread for the journey so that we can be strong enough to face what we have to face. We may want war and chaos to cease. Instead, God shows us how to be examples of hope, to offer love, and to be the bringers of peace. We may not always get what we wish for, and though we may not always see what's happening at the time, God does provide what we need.